Morning, Angie. Hi. Angie, I don't know. I think maybe. Oh, hi. Hi, Aditya.
Yes, I do. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know whether my voice is getting there or not.
Uh, yeah, there's quite a lot of background noise. Angie, I don't know if I can hear you. Yeah, Angie's microphone is broken. He says, "Hi. Great, Aditya. You just finished your exams, right? Congratulations." Yeah, there's a lot of people here just looking. Okay. Um, so I think Manish probably will not be attending today, and neither will Nadine. So it's just me. Um, I have some topics in mind, but is there anything anyone wants to ask or bring up for discussion? Hi, Manish.
Hi.
Just asking if anyone has any questions. Angie doesn't have any questions. I haven't heard from Aditya.
No, not as of now.
Okay. So in terms of a list of things to do, so I just wanted to raise awareness for the new triage role that we have created. So just share my screen. So we have a new triage role. I need to update it. I just proposed it 5 days ago. And what happened is I initially created it just to have a new triage role. So like I added myself, Nadine, and Manish as triage members. And then they were like, hey, why haven't you actually added anyone? So I had to add a couple of people to this. And so now we have some triage members, but I'm wanting to expand that a little bit more. So it's Tech, Mona, Antonio, and it's also you at the moment. But I'm trying to reach out to people and ask like if this is something that they're interested in. So yeah, but right now we have 4 new triage members. So yeah, welcome everyone. And what that lets you do is you can approve things in the Python SDK. So you should be able to create issues as you were before, but you can actually label them, you can archive them, and I think you are able to submit your own review for things. So just think of an example. I don't know, this has moved quite quickly. But yeah, I think Tech Priyanshu has been reviewing things and improving things. So that's looking really good, and that builds up the skills to become a committer. So committer, and as a maintainer, you just spend more and more of your time reviewing things. So yeah, that's nice to have. The other thing that is new in the Python SDK is we have some new workflows that are helping us to unassign people and ask people if they're still working on their pull request, so we don't have to do that manually. So that's looking a lot better. Hi, Akshat. Angelina, is my proposal to become triage still pending? So I haven't submitted anything. So I won't propose somebody to be a triage unless I've spoken with them and unless I know that they're interested. So the bottleneck was trying to speak with people. So I haven't spoken with Akshat, for example. I just spoke with you recently, Angelina. And if I want to propose people for triage, I want to group them all together. So because every time that I add someone into the request, into the proposal to be a triage, it has to be approved and it has to be reviewed by multiple people. So ideally, it's not like one at a time. The exception is I added on the weekend because I had no approval from Nadine before that, so it was the same, just adding him in then. So that was like the weekend. So I haven't added anybody since the weekend. Does that answer your question, Angie? I need to get round to that. But I really want to talk to people to see if this is something that would actually interest them. All good, just wanted to make sure. Yeah. And it is a proposal. It's up to somebody else to decide if that's a good idea. So this is just my opinion. Hey, I think, these developers would make really great triage committers. But it's somebody else's opinion ultimately, whether that gets approved. Any other questions relating to triage or committers or maintainers? Okay, yeah. So if you are interested in the triage role, which gives you the ability to do all of these things, and you believe that you have like contributed positively to the Python SDK and you believe it would interest you, here are the tasks that a triage would be able to do, and you can just contact me, and then we can have a conversation to see if yeah, I've been talking with everybody so far who has been interested in that. So yeah, I the other metric that I use is like in the GitHub Python SDK, there's a setting. And inside here, you can see who has been doing pull requests. So in general, the people that I've reached out to have been making like quite a lot of really high quality pull requests. So for example, Adit, yeah, you've been committing loads and loads of really good issues and pull requests. Same with you, Akshat. So I use this quite a lot, but I also want to know if this is something that would interest you and you can learn from. Yeah. Any other questions regarding? Okay, we actually, I don't think we have anyone on the call right now who is triage to ask them like how they're finding it. But yeah. So that's the first thing I wanted to discuss. Um, let's see what else is on the list. Manish, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but one of the things that we've been discussing, Manish and I, is how can we grow the functionality in the Python SDK? So if you look at the issues that are in the Python SDK, we have lots of good first issues, and we have some other issues that have come up, but there could actually be quite a bit to do in terms of making the Python SDK have more functionality so it's similar to the JavaScript SDK. So here in this link, I put an output, a script output of that compares the Python SDK with the JavaScript SDK. And then it just basically predicts the functions or the methods that are missing in the Python SDK compared to the JavaScript SDK. So this is slightly more intermediate tasks. I wouldn't say these are good first issues because they'll have to be tested. You're adding new functionality, or you're changing functionality, so they have to be all tested. But yeah, that's something that we've been thinking about. Manish, can you speak more about how you find these more intermediate issues? Are you able to speak at the moment?
Yeah. So I'm like planning to like create one or two pull requests like a week on this issue, uh, um, like adding like small functions from that. So yeah, I think I'll start from like 1 or 2 days because like currently I'm working on uh, some other issues.
Yeah, and how do you find out if the Python SDK is missing
Yeah.
functionality, and how do
So
you know to fix it?
so I like first take the base class, like the entity class. So for example, like we can take like account ID and like check what fields are available in that, and like we go to like the JavaScript SDK and we can do the same thing there, like going to the account ID class, looking at the fields. So like what fields are there, what are missing from the Python SDK, and like what methods are there, and then based on that I just like create a plan to like create the issues. So like that's one way, and the second way is that we can like look at the issues that are open in like the JavaScript SDK, and we can like create the similar kind of issue in the Python SDK if they are like missing. So like that's how I find out what's missing.
Yep. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Something else that has been brought up by the Python SDK community is mentorship. So there's the Linux Foundation. Let me try and find the link again. Sorry, I didn't save it. 1 second. The Linux Foundation, which is slightly different from the Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. But you know they're connected, but I think slightly it's a part of it. So they have a mentorship program, and the idea is if we want to offer mentorships, we have to submit somebody who wants to mentor a mentee. We need to submit like a program of tasks that people can learn from and gain good skills. And it's 3 months of full-time work or 24 weeks for part-time students. So it's a very structured mentorship. You get paired with a mentor and you, I think, see them once a week or so. And then this, if we have to apply, so that because there's a limited funding. If you become a mentee, depending on the program, it will pay a small stipend. I think some of them are free, but some of them do offer stipends, but we need to submit an application for that. My current thinking is that there could be a use case to helping us grab some of these methods that are missing in the Python SDK that we can work to increase like the parity with other SDKs, and that could be part of the internship. I think we can apply to more than one as well, but we need to have the resources and everything to sort of be able to support that. So I don't know if anyone has any questions about that. I think the applications would usually start around January. So we will have to start moving in the next couple of weeks with the documentations and everything. If that is something that we really think is going to be valuable and useful to us, and also is something that we can actually manage and do well, because I think there's nothing worse than wanting to join a mentorship program and then the mentors not actually being like available. Do you have a link to the application? Are there people interested in mentoring someone? Yeah, I mean, we need volunteers, basically, and I think we need one mentor for every mentee. So if we do 2 applications, we need to have 2 mentors, as far as I understand. I don't think the mentors need to be, you know, specialist experts at everything. It can be, so like, you know, instead of saying like, okay, the role of a mentee is to achieve parity with the JavaScript SDK and help help somebody learn how to do that, that's like a massive task. It could just be like, okay, we're just going to try and do this just for like the token transactions, or we're just going to do it for like the EVM equivalence things. So you could just narrow it down to things that you are comfortable with. But yeah, I think here they say the reasons why you might want to be a mentor. So you know, you develop the skills of teaching, and you know, you can be recognized as an expert. So you have somebody to yeah, to train, and you know, you ultimately help to bring in talent. So I think I will volunteer as a mentor. I don't know if I will be able to necessarily volunteer in this area all the time, because I am split between different activities like that need to be done in the Python SDK and in Hiero in general. But yeah, if somebody else wants to step up, I think I'm not sure exactly what the requirements are, but I think you just need to be able to demonstrate that you would be a good mentor. So commitment, willingness, member of the developer community, do you have time? So it doesn't really mention any specific requirements. I think they're valuing more like, can you be there for somebody else? So I'll just put the link there for you, Angie. Do I have a link to the application? So basically, what happens is the Hiero organization is going to have to apply. So mentorships are available mid-January. So we need to basically start trying to set ourselves up before then. So there's two things. One, as Hiero, we would need to apply. And then the second thing is, if you want to be a mentee, you will have to apply to the issues that are open, and there will be a competition to do that. I think you have to submit your CV or something, and your application gets reviewed based on that. The main concern that I have right now is, can we create a good enough application to be to have the opportunity to actually mentor somebody. So yeah, if somebody's really interested in reading all this documentation really well, that would really help us like write a good application to have mentees, one or two or something. And if somebody does want to be a mentor, let me know. That is something that would be useful as well. Any other questions? Okay, so let's see what else was on my list. Mentorships. Oh yeah, we have a lot of open issues for training. So if you want to really learn about the Python SDK and how it works, one thing you can do is obviously try and code sections, but another thing you can do is try and really understand some of the documents. So for example, we have this, which I think Angie maybe, oh, your mic is broken. But this is like a really solid task if you're able to create a mini training for protobuffs that would be amazing, like adding examples and things like that. I'm sure you'll walk out after doing this being much more knowledgeable than you are today. And actually I think you probably will learn more doing that than even trying to like code sections of the SDK that doesn't actually use everything, all of this together at one time. Angie is so excited for this. Yeah, I haven't even got like a training scheme, like a structure of it either. It's just like, hey, does anyone want to take this big task on to create a training guide for protobufs? I've got like the general file names, and then it's kind of like up to you if you feel it's going to be something good for you to do. So yeah, that's training. Manish, I don't know if you want to talk about the work that we're doing with TLS at the moment. Is that something that you want to discuss, or should we take that? We discuss that later.
I think we can like discuss it later, because like currently I'm not also like sure that it is like 100% right or wrong, but like I'm like currently looking at the other SDKs for that. So like we might talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah, so basically all our workflows are working, I think, but locally we are having some problems running some of the examples. So Manish and I are busy trying to solve that behind the scenes. If you want to help solve that, let us know. We haven't yet 100% identified the issue and the solution for it, so we don't have an issue for it. But yeah, there's something going on there if you try and run the examples. So that could be a good challenge for somebody. So Manish and I still have to work on that. Yeah. Anything else that anyone wants to talk about? Okay. So I will probably just say like if anybody wants to speak with me about the triage things or the mentorship things, I will type my Discord in the chat. And I would recommend get in touch with me, because you might be able to influence the outcome with that. I think I'll be applying for the last chunk of triage members for a while, probably at the end of this week, possibly. So yeah, if that's something you want to do, please let me know sooner rather than later. And yeah, I think we should just probably. Akshat, you've got your thumbs up. Is that something that's interesting to you? Are you able to speak? Okay, he's still on mute, so I'm not sure if that's a yes. Probably a no. Okay. I'll try and get in touch with you, Akshat, because I saw you raise your thumbs. Okay, great. You're interested. Great. So just contact me on Discord and we can talk about it. Okay, great. So I think we should just cut this community call short for today. And see you in a couple of weeks. Any topics that are interesting or important to you, always happy to talk about them. The call is more about the community rather than like what we've been working on. So it's a community call after all. And there's the office hour that's going to be held next week. So office hours where you can get some help with your pull requests. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.